Okay, the first video for Death Metal Month is being uploaded. It's not death metal, by the way. It's the Motorhead ranking everybody's been waiting for. The one that I promised for a month now. It is finally coming. I have finally gotten all the albums ranked in not in order they came out, but in my favorites to least favorites. This one was a little bit different. I put it in a tier first, so then I could really get a feed on where they would fit. So as we're going to start it out with one at 7 out of 10, which is not bad. I don't think Motorhead ever did a bad album. They were probably one of the greatest bands ever to exist in the whole music scene. Ah, shit. Oh, yeah. So we're going to start it off with number 21. As you know, on this channel sometimes we have ties, and we do have one tie in this ranking, which I couldn't decide between the two. There's two albums that I couldn't decide between. I'm just scratching behind my ear. It's no big deal. Motorhead with at number 21 is going to be Snakebite Love from 1998. The album's good, but there's just a lot of, it just feels like there's some filler tracks on here. It really doesn't hit as hard as some of the other ones do. I do like it for Motorhead, for what Motorhead was. I thought they became better over time. This album does feel strong, but there's just some songs like Take the Blame that is just not as good as some of the other stuff they did. And that goes us with number 20. I'm moving on. Try not to explain stuff as much. Just trying to give you a whole ranking. Number 20 is their self-titled first album. I know I usually put the first album over at the bottom of the ranking. It's not bad. It's an 8 out of 10. It moved up from the 7 out of 10, which the Snakebite Love was at. Yeah, there's the production quality is just not as what Motorhead. It's raw. It's at their most nasty phase, but then it's like the production quality wasn't at what you would want for an album. It almost had like black metal production to it. It was really like when I want to go to a Motorhead album, I don't want to hear. I don't want to get my ears blasted out by the drums, and the drums are way too strong on this album. Good ones are Motorhead, Lost Johnny, The Train Kept a Rollin'. There's some good ones on here. Very good album. And that leaves us with number 19, Overnight Sensation, their 1996 album, the one that came out right after Sacrifice. Good ones on here are Civil War, Eat the Gun, Overnight Sensation, Love Can't Buy You Money, Them Not Me, Murder Show, and that's mostly everything I like on this album. This album is just, well, it's Motorhead. There's really nothing special on this album. It's just average Motorhead. Most of these are these ones that are down on the list. They're still good, but they're not as good as some of the other ones that they released. Number 18 is 2000's We Are Motorhead. Stay Out of Jail, God Save the Queen, which is a Sex Pistols cover. That is a pretty good one. Wake the Dead, Stage Fright, Crash and Burn. That's pretty good. One More Fucking Time. That's another one. That's pretty good. And yeah, it's like all the other songs are somewhat bland, and it's still good. It's still good. I have to keep putting that out there that these albums are still good, and I'm not like completely hating these albums. And number 17 with Inferno. I gotta go on my Spotify to see the tracks for this album. because I do not have a copy of it. I do not have a copy of every single Motorhead album. Life's a Bitch is good. Killers, Terminal Show, In the Year of the Wolf, Whorehouse Blues is a good way to end the album. Smiling Like a Killer, Keys to the Kingdom. It's just mostly the problem with this album is mostly with the problem with the other ones that I just listed. It's somewhat bland. It has nothing that really pops out at you. And that brings us to number 16. I'm trying to go through this ranking as fast as possible. Number 16 is one of their original ones, the Iron Fist. This is the last one with the original lineup. The song America is the standout one here. Go to Hell is another standout one. Speed Freak, Shut It Down, Loser, Sex and Outrage. The other songs are somewhat bland. It was the kind of downfall of Motorhead at that time. Yeah, I'm gonna move on. I can't keep talking about. I gotta keep going because I have limited time to do this video. So, and number 15, we go to number 15, which is Motorizer, their 2008 album. Runaround Man is a standout one from here. Buried Alive, English Rose. English Rose is a standout. I really like that song. Back on the Chain, Heroes. Heroes is a good song. Yeah, this album is actually pretty damn good. Nothing really too bad about this album. Nothing too bad about the other albums either, but it's got to go somewhere, and it falls at number 15. Is it? No. And that leaves us with number 14, which is the last studio album they did, which is Bad Magic. The last one before Lemmy's passing. Victory or Die is an okay song. Thunder and Lightning is amazing. The Devil is good. Evil Eye is good. Choking on Your Screams. When the Sky Comes for Looking for You. There's some actually really good songs on this album. It's not too bad. I wouldn't say it's bad at all. I would say it was kind of like an 8 out of 10. And that's where we go up from here to 9 out of 10 with The World Is Yours, which is 2010. Born to Lose. I Know How. What the hell? I don't know what the song's name is. I can't read it on the back of the. I Know How to Die. Get Back in Line. Devil's in My Head. Rock and Roll Music. Waiting for the Snake. Brotherhood of Man. Outlaw. I Know What You Need. Bye Bye Bitch. Bye Bye. Pretty damn good album. Nothing really that bad about this album. Just really isn't up to par with some of the higher ups on the list. And yeah, that's all I got to say about this album. I'm not going to I'm not going to go long drawn out stuff like I usually do because this is a long video and I don't want to take up too much camera space. And next one at number 12 is Aftershock. This is the whole war-themed album that they did for 2013. Coup de Grace is probably the best one on here. End of Time. Keep Your Powder Dry. This is a nice ballad song. Silence When You Speak to Me. Crying Shame. Nothing really bad about this album. It's mostly all good. It's just, well, it's not up to par with some of the other ones. And we go to number 11, which is their 2002 album, Hammered. Walk a Crooked Mile starts the album off. Pretty okay one. Brave New World, that song is really weird. but it has a theme to it, and I really like the theme to it. Dr. Love, of course. Kiss made a song with this name. It has kind of the same meaning, not the same meaning. As you would know, the special edition copies had the WWE The Game song on here. Triple H's theme, which is pretty good. And that moves us to number 10, which is 1916. This one falls a little bit low. I still really enjoy this album. Love Me Forever is probably my favorite one on here. 1916 is a long ballad song where it's mostly just spoken words. It's really good. I'm So Bad, Baby, I Don't Care is a classic. If you know Motorhead a lot, if you know Motorhead really well, you probably have heard this song a couple times. No Voice in the Sky, Going to Brazil, Nightmare of the Dreamtime. The only thing I have a problem with is the song Ramones for some reason. I just really don't like the song too much. Angel City's good. So yeah. Number 10, 1916, that's top 10. And number 9 is where people get pretty mad at me because I have Ace of Spades down here at number 9. Yeah. Number 7 and above is perfect. There's nothing wrong with the albums at all. The thing I have a problem with is the number 7 song, Fire, Fire. I really don't like that song too much. And, well, the rest of the album is damn flawless. Just this one kind of holds it back. I know it's a classic Motorhead album with the Shoot You in the Back and Ace of Spades, which is probably their mainstay song. Love Me Like a Reptile, Jailbait, which I know what that means. And, well, we're not going to pretend we don't know what that means. Bite the Bullet, The Chase is Better Than the Catch, The Hammer ends the album. And then they have some bonus tracks on here. I really like this album. Just Fire, Fire is a little bit the thing that holds it back. So yeah. And then we move on to number 8, which is Another Perfect Day, the one that came out after Iron Fist. Back at the Funny Farm, I didn't really think that would be a good song until I listened to it. It really is. Tales of Glory, Die You Bastard, Turn Me Roll. That's a singles B-side. Another Perfect Day, Marching Off to War, Rocket, Dancing on Your Grave, Shine. Shine is one of the faster songs they do. It's faster ones they wrote. I definitely think this album is, well, very underrated. People don't really talk about this album too much. And I just think it should get more discussion. There's definitely some of the best material they've ever done on this album. The best material they've ever done is on the next ones, which is 8 of the albums, and out of 7, so you know what that means. Starting it off with number 7, this is another one people are going to be pissed off with me for putting at number 7, which is Overkill, their mainstay one. Overkill, Stay Clean, I Don't Pay Your Price, I'll Be Your Sister, Capricorn, No Class, Damage Case, Tear You Down, Metropolis, and Limb from Limb. Perfect all the way through. There's nothing bad about it. My favorite one from here is Stay Clean. Overkill is a great song, but, well, I don't get the hype behind it. It is a great song. It is a perfect song, but it's as good as the rest of the songs on this album. No Class, Damage Case is like one of the greatest ones on this album. Standout ones. All of them are mostly standouts. I'm going to leave it at there before I go and contradict myself, because that's what I do best. Number 6 is Kiss of Death, which is 2006. Here is another one where people will be mad at me because this album people don't really think is that good. If you do think it's that good, leave it in the comment section and I will respond to it. Promise. Sucker, One Night Stand, Devil I Know, Trigger, Under the Gun, God Was Never on Your Side, Living in the Past, Christine, Sword of Glory, Be My Baby, Kingdom of the Worm, and Going Down. All great songs. This album kicks complete ass. Front to cover, it is probably the most metal, not the most metal Motorhead has ever gotten, but kind of is at the same time, because it is one kick-ass album, and this album will rip you the fuck apart as soon as you listen to it. Like, it's heavy, it's really loud, it's clean production too, so it's an easy listen. And we go to number 5, which is our tie. We got Bomber and Orgasmatron. Like them both the same. Think they have the same bite to them. Let's talk about Bomber first. Dead Men Tell No Tales, Lawman, Sweet Revenge, Sharpshooter, Poison, Stone Dead Forever, All the Aces, Step Down, and Talking Head. Man, mess ups. Stone Dead Forever, probably one of my favorite Motorhead songs. Lawman is probably the best one on here. That song kicks ass. The whole album kicks complete ass, and it is amazing. It's original lineup. It's when the original lineup was at their best. I definitely think this is the best of their original lineup albums. So yeah. And the one that tied with it is Orgasmatron. This one is, oh, what year this is? I think 88 maybe. Weird name for an album. Deaf Forever. Nothing Up My Sleeve. Ain't My Crime. Claw. Mean Machine. Built for Speed. Riding with the Driver. Dr. Rock, and Orgasmatron. This album is one of the most heaviest Motorhead albums ever. And, well, it's a classic in my opinion. Most people don't like it. It's a very mixed review album. You'll get a lot of people that hate it and a lot of people that love it. So I think it's perfect. I'm going to put it at number 5 with Bomber. And that goes into number 4, which is 1992. March or Die. I definitely think 90s Motorhead, early 90s Motorhead, is some of the best material that they've ever done. Stand, the Ted Nugent cover, Cat Scratch Fever cover, is fucking amazing. Jack the Ripper, that song is awesome. Hellraiser, which is an Ozzy Osbourne cover, and they do all the guitar pinches and harmonics to it, which is also really good. Name in Vain or March or Die. Bad Religion, great song. Stand to start the album. I love this album. There's nothing bad about it. At Motorhead, it's where they were going up to more of a heavy metal style, and well, it kicks ass. Like, we're not gonna lie here. It's gonna kick ass. Then we move on to number 3, top 3. Where is it? 1993's album Bastards, the one that came right after it. On Your Feet or On Your Knees. Burner, Death or Glory, I Am the Sword, Born to Raise Hell, Don't Let Daddy Kiss Me, which that song is, well, a very controversial song. It has to do with child abuse, which is one of the most disgusting crimes in existence and one of the worst things that anybody can do. And, well, Motorhead covered it. They covered they made a song about it, which it definitely hits hard. And it is one of my favorite songs that they've ever done. And if you didn't think Lemmy was a good guy before he made this song, then this song is a standout for any band. This is one of their most meaningful songs, and it's just amazing. I just had to take a minute to talk about that song because it's just such a touching song. Bad Woman, Liar, Lost in the Ozone, I Am Your Man, We Bring the Snake, and Devils. Oh, this album is great, even with the ballad about child abuse in this album. He offered it to so many other musicians to cover it. They all declined, so he put it in this album. And, well, you would think it wouldn't fit just by the theme of the song, but I say it fits more than some of these other songs would fit in the album. Perfect album, perfect. Motorhead Bastards is one of the best Motorhead albums ever. And we go to number 2. This was a hard one to pick. 1990s rock and roll. The one that started, I think this is 90s. Okay. I think this was 90s. I'll check right now. I'm going to check right now if this is the 90s album or not. Not too sure. No, Orgasmatron was 86. This is 87. This is one of the finest Motorhead albums ever. It has songs like Rock and Roll, Eat the Rich, Blackheart, Stone Deaf in the USA, The Wolf, Traitor, Dogs, All For You, and Boogeyman. All great songs. Used to be my favorite studio album until, well, I listened to another album. You probably already know what that one is, and you're probably already pissed because not a lot of people like this Motorhead album that I have number 1. It has Animal Taylor on it, and it has Lemmy. Of course, every Motorhead album had Lemmy on it, and I love this album. There's nothing wrong with it. It is amazing. Eat the Rich is probably one of the best Motorhead songs ever. And then we go to number 1, or my favorite, the most brutal, gruff, nasty Motorhead album they've ever done. Sacrifice. The best Motorhead album ever. Hands down, the greatest Motorhead albums. One of the best albums of all time, in my opinion. It has songs like Sacrifice, Sex and Death, Over Your Shoulder, War for War, Order, Fade to Black, Dog-Faced Boy, All Gone to Hell, Make 'Em Blind, Don't Waste Your Time, In Another Time, and Out of the Sun. This is Motorhead at their heaviest, most raw, in-your-face album, the in-your-face time period that they've ever had. This is their mainstay heavy metal album, in my opinion. It'll always be my opinion. I will always love this album. So yeah, not a lot of people like Sacrifice. One of their ones that people don't really like too much, but I do. I love that album. It'll always be one of my favorites of all time. So that's how I rank Motorhead. Tell me how you rank them in the comments section, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be a death metal video, because this is going up at one of the last days of the month, and I will show you what's going to be going on in the next video, or not the next video, but one of the next videos for Death Metal Month. Just show you something. I picked up these copies from the internet, and I will be. So, leave a comment of what you think I'm gonna do, but probably should have an idea already. But I'll see you in the next video. it'll be a death metal video because next week, or not next month, July is going to be death metal month for my channel. It's been fun, but it's gonna end, and I'll see you in the next video.